Welcome to your angel messages. These messages are meant for you anytime you come across them. The angels are highly efficient and know when you will hear them. I'm Devon Duerr, angel intuitive and spiritual teacher, and I always say a prayer of protection, asking that I only connect with God's highest vibrational beings and the messages be for the highest good of those who come across them. So let's get started. Right away, the angels want you to know that you may find yourself having to really speak your mind and try to come across in a professional manner with those around you. The guidance here is to make sure you're balancing both your mental considerations and your emotional. So if you are feeling like, oh, I really want to get this point across, I really want them to hear me from where I'm coming from, also check in with your emotions and make sure you're coming from the right emotional space. A good example would be if I were to come onto this video to share these messages with you when I wasn't feeling in a good emotional space. Maybe I was feeling sad or I was frustrated. That would come across in the video. So that's why they want you to hear this message right now, is if there's something important you need to share and you need to come across as diplomatic, professional, and really like you have thought through it, do something before you share those ideas and speak up to get you balanced with your emotions. So grounding yourself, going outside and spending time in nature, maybe doing a little meditation or even just dancing around your living room before you pick up the phone to have that conversation. They do want you to know that there's going to be a bit of a challenge here for you to share this information, or you may hear information in response to this that feels a little challenging, or maybe even recently you just found out that somebody was going to make a change to the plans that's affecting you, but they want you to know this is working out in your highest interest in the long term. So it's going to be important that we're not impulsive in the way we react to this information. So especially if somebody's telling you something in a tactless way, we want to get curious. We want to ask honest and logical questions. And also in the reverse, if we're the ones delivering challenging information to someone else, we want to allow them to be curious and allow them to respond in a balanced, grounded way, and making sure that we're being very honest with the information we are sharing. Ultimately, one of the things they want you to know that you may not be aware of is this is leading to you having a successful completion of something you're working towards, a goal, a project. Maybe you're trying to make your home a happier, more content place where you feel very peaceful and abundant. So even if the information is coming towards you and making you feel disrupted, they want you to know that it's ultimately going to bring you peace. The example would be getting the news that your roommate has decided to move out, and now you have to find somebody to move in to help with that. They're saying, maybe you don't even need to get a roommate right now because there's a job opportunity coming in for you, and you can now create a more peaceful environment at home to do that job. So that's just an example that came from me. It may be for someone specific out there, but think about the idea that if you are learning something challenging, or if you're having to deliver challenging information to somebody else, like you're letting your boss know that you are quitting your job to take a new job, that's okay if things are a little bit challenging at first, because ultimately you're going to get so much peace from sharing this information. And by doing it in a balanced and professional manner, it's really going to help long term. They want to give you a lot of pats on the backs and applause for the way that you are willing to get out there and assert yourself and show your independence, show your creativity to the world. They see the way you've been working towards that, and the way that you have really begun to believe in yourself in bigger ways than ever. They want to just keep reminding you, do not underestimate how far you can go. That is a really important message for you, to not limit yourself. Make sure that you are believing that you can go further than you can even imagine. And at the time you're hearing these messages, it's important to know that it is that you need to go ahead. I was going to say it is important. It's important for you to know that it's important. But it is important that you are buckling down and getting these things done. We want to avoid procrastination. We want to follow through on our commitments. So again, if you are letting your boss know you're giving your 2 weeks notice, honor that commitment. Plan to stay there for the full 2 weeks and do your best. And also with any information coming in towards you, if your roommate's saying, hey, I need my half of the deposit back because I'm moving out, Do the things that you agreed to, honor those commitments, get them done, because that's what's going to help this energy move forward to something that is more peaceful and will help you really bring in that abundance. Very soon, you're going to be getting some really important intuitive insights. So check in with your psychic abilities, pay attention, write down things that are coming through you, angel numbers, angel signs, symbols through animals, and all kinds of ways that we receive signs. Incidentally, if you haven't checked out my podcast, the Track Your Intuition podcast, currently on my YouTube channel, that gives you a bunch of tips if you think you've seen a sign. And I always like to say, if you think you've seen a sign, you've seen a sign. But it gives you a lot of tools and tips on what to do if you think you've seen a sign so you can understand the meaning. And then I also go into tools and tips for how to intentionally ask for signs and connect with the angels. So just a little shout out there to that podcast. It's meant to be evergreen, so you can listen to it over and over again. There's 11 episodes at the time I'm recording this podcast, but I will be adding more tools and tips to that podcast and hopefully eventually streaming it on other platforms as well if it's something that you guys find helpful. All right, so back to the angel messages. And by the way, thank you so much for being here. If these messages are resonating with you, I would appreciate it so much if you hit the like button and shared the video. And thank you so much to my subscribers. I love you so much. I'm so grateful you are always here. Okay, so I just wanted to say that gratitude there, but still continue with this information that if you have signs coming in, if you are getting this psychic information, please pay attention and trust that there are things happening that we may not be aware of. If you find yourself being held back by fears, this is when we're going to want to intentionally connect with the angels and ask them to help you release those blocks, release things that are holding you back, and start focusing on the future and where you're headed. You're going to get a lot of personal power by calling in energetic protection, especially when we are having these challenging conversations. We're sharing challenging information, or those around us are delivering things in a tactless way, or maybe they don't like what they're hearing, so they're responding in not quite a balanced way. Then we want to protect our energy here. We want to make sure we are setting aside time for us to go into a place of contentment and go deep, go into spiritual meditation. So a good opportunity here for calling on Archangel Michael. If you're somebody who works with the archangels, I find Archangel Michael's protection immediate, and I work with Archangel Michael often. Let me know in the comments if you'd like for me to do more videos about the archangels, because I love talking about them. But that you're going to get a lot of personal power by protecting your energy, protecting your space. So maybe you are having that difficult conversation with a roommate, with somebody you're in a relationship with, or a boss in a neutral location so that you can easily leave and go back to a place where you feel peaceful. Now, those around you are really wanting to have more fun and get out and have more fun too. So don't underestimate the opportunities you have to get out and have fun with somebody else. If you are finding yourself struggling with a certain relationship, look around to see who else out there is ready to go out and have a good time and enjoy life. And then also, maybe I am getting, for some of us, this could be a romantic partner, or a child, or a parent who is needing to have more fun, and they need the invitation. It's so interesting how often people don't realize they're waiting around for an invitation to join the fun. And so you could be that invitation for them, and that could really spark a lot of joy for everybody. And I like to do things in threes. So think about maybe inviting 2 friends along with you to go out and have fun and really expand that joy and energy. Now, one of the things that they realize you are realizing is that you're going to have to be organized, and you're going to have to be logical about how you approach these relationships, how you approach changes to your plans, and how you approach handling your leadership and challenging information. So focus on where you can get organized, think things through. So this may mean before you have the conversation, you sit down and write out what you want to say, get organized about your important points. Or before you respond to somebody else who has said something to you that felt tactless or hurtful, you're sitting down, go get out that journal, connect with your angels, and write down your feelings and get clear on what's really going on for you before you are having that conversation. Because ultimately, that's going to help you feel like you are the one standing in the spotlight, bringing your dreams into this reality. And so having confidence in yourself that you are in the right direction, and trusting that by being organized, Focusing on spreading your wings and stepping into that spotlight, you are ultimately going to have that happy outcome you desire. I think this is fantastic messages for you. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or what resonated with you. And again, a reminder that there are lots of angel messages for you on my YouTube channel at Devon Duerr. So check those out. Their QR code is there. And thank you for being here. It is always my honor to connect with you in this way. And remember, take time every day to connect with the angels.